Well, hi there, everyone, and welcome to today's VIP Trade Room with Roger Scott and Matt Horton. Now, my name is Raleigh White, and I'm coming to you live from Austin, Texas, and I'm going to be your moderator today. Now, in today's session, Roger's going to be covering some pretty critically important topics, including the biggest hurdle that hinders day trading success for most of us, why day trading stocks and indexes are like trading apples and oranges, why it's okay to trade index against the main trend, but against Roger's law when trading stocks. We're also going to see Roger's favorite setups for day trading stocks and indices, how he uses market internals to help win both sides, and also why leverage determines your gains. So we've got some significant topics here. A lot of this is going to be a carryover over what was discussed yesterday, where the focus was on rhythm and momentum, those critical things that are important when sizing up opportunities. Now, if you've got any questions during Roger's presentation, please type them in the chat window and we will address them periodically throughout the session so as to not interfere with Roger's presentation. Now, folks, if you were not with us this morning when Roger opens up his YouTube room to the world for his market opening comments, there were several things I want to share with you that Roger brought up this morning. The overall theme from his perspective is that he expects this to be a pretty slow day with no directional bias, very similar to the way it was yesterday. If you looked at gold, crude, bonds, the US dollar, Dow, S&P, QQQ, everything was basically trading very flat within a range, really right around the 8 EMA. Nothing whatsoever pre-market to indicate that there would be significant movement in the markets. The other thing that I thought that was interesting is Roger took a look at stocks that were making 20-day highs compared to last Thursday versus today. And with those stocks making 20-day highs, that number was 470 companies last Thursday, but only 81 coming into today. And then he said, well, let's take a look at stocks that are making 90-day highs. And that drop was from 391 to 75. Interestingly enough, there really wasn't any corresponding move lower. So from that perspective, as far as he's concerned, and I agree, it looks like the bulk of the stocks are trading sideways, sort of in a middle ground at this point in time. A lot of wait and see. Now, as far as catalysts were concerned coming into the day, you know what Roger means by catalysts. Information that is known but is not yet priced into the market. Those catalysts, he said, would be the housing data report, which came out at 8:30 while we were in the room. And essentially, startups were up. That was nice. Permits were down. But the real thing here was there was no real impact in the market. Roger was focused specifically to see how bonds might react to that, and there was really no response. As far as sectors to keep an eye on, technology, consumer discretionary, healthcare, and retail. And the focus stocks were Palo Alto, PanW, which we saw earnings from them yesterday after the market closed, and then Intel, Caterpillar, Home Depot, and MDT as far as stocks to keep an eye on. Now, when it comes to Roger's small cap watch list, those were, and let me go ahead and copy these and post these in the room so everyone can see these. They were LASE and CISS. LASE above 525, and that was kind of a focus for Roger. He kind of felt like there might be something there. On CISS above 6, he said, I just don't think it's going to reach that point, and he was kind of so-so on that. Now, why does he pick these? Okay, the key thing to remember is Roger's focus is on price action and volume, and both of those small cap stocks, gave that flash, if you will. And remember, folks, small caps are not market dependent. So whatever the broader market is doing, small caps, don't respond to that. There is no RSI to really look at because institutions aren't buying small caps. And also, fair warning, only trade these stocks during normal market hours. As a matter of fact, Roger goes so far as to say is to let the market open a little bit, get in a little bit later into these things just to make sure that things are going to work out. Now, as far as his daily stock watch list is concerned, there were a number of shorts and longs, and I'm also going to post these here for everyone to see. And as you know, Roger, he went through each one of these and showed us, why he liked them as potential shorts, why they were on his watch list, and why he liked the longs. But in all cases, he's basically saying we just need to see a confirmed breakout before consider a break up or break down, depending on if you're looking to short the stock or go long, before you basically dive into those. And just to wait and to be patient, and particularly on a day like today, where his expectation is that it's just going to be difficult to trade in sideways market conditions. So, for those of you that are coming in today, we're going to be starting shortly. And the focus for today's agenda is the biggest hurdle that hinders day trading success. Roger's going to spend some time on this, and you probably won't be surprised as to what that is. Secondly, why day trading stocks and indexes are like trading apples and oranges, and why it's okay to trade indexes against the main trend, but not stocks. If you trade stocks against the main trend, you are breaking one of Roger's cardinal rules of trading the markets. Roger's also going to go ahead and share what his favorite setups are for day trading stocks and indexes. And I think we're really going to enjoy seeing that because there are specific setups that Roger likes to look at in doing that. He's also going to tell us why he uses or how he uses market internals to help decide how to win on both sides. And then he added this as a result of some great discussion this morning on why leverage determines your gains, because there was a lot of focus when people are talking about making money in the market and how to decide how much money you should make, etc. And it's just not that simple. You have to look at risk, you have to look at leverage, and he wants to make sure that he covers that because it's very, very important. So Roger's excited to be able to share what he's got going on. This is a great presentation. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a continuation of what Roger shared with us yesterday. And with that, let's say hi to Uncle Roger. Roger, it's great to see you, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing super, my man. Super, super duper. And I've been keeping an eye on the markets as well. And Roger, from my perspective, and I'm looking at futures markets. I mean, it's just as you said today, it's dangerous waters.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's uh taking a vacation or I gotta say, Matt picked the best time of the year to have COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. When's the market going to take a break? I think I'll.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is, I'm thinking maybe I should reconsider taking a holiday in 4th of July and take a period, take my vacation this time of year because this is like dead, 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 dead in the water. And
Absolutely.
but let's talk a little bit about what's going on right now, what's happening. Now, the only thing is you got to bear with me because I don't have 9 monitors here at home on one computer. Because I usually don't work from home. I have a setup here with 4 monitors, and I have a setup here with 3 monitors, and I have my laptop with 2 monitors.
I
So,
think
which
we can make that work.
yeah. Well, the thing is this, I may have to cut and paste things and then send them here like I was doing yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
But it tends to work because I have my Pro Trader dashboard, my market internals here, and then I have my TC2000 and all my other stuff here. So anyway, it's all good. I'm gonna probably end up getting another setup and getting like the same setup that I have at work here, so I could just duplicate it so it doesn't look foreign to me every time I sit here. But it is what it is. Good morning, everybody. Let me let me say hello to everybody real quick, and then we'll be starting. Okay, it'll just take a second here. We got John, we got Thelma, we got Tammy, Pete, Michael, keyboard rules. Jill, good morning, Jill. Solaire, John, Michael, um, Elizabeth, iPhone, Flying Ronan, JB, Sammy. Hey, Sammy, Candy, Steven. Yeah, Wade. Good. Raleigh posted all that stuff. Excellent. John, Cyrus, Andrew Kirk, Bob, Jill, Harold, Matt, Julio, Mike Clyde, John, Deanna, Jody, Ken. Hey, Ken. Jeremiah, Sharita, Kirk, Mike, Bill, Omar, Christopher, Gus, Sergey, Dorothy, Lugar, Lugara. Lugaro follow. I think I got it right. Lugaro follow. David, Peter. Hey, Peter. Catherine, Gudeep, Mike, Wild Ranger, Jody, Adrian, Lee, Maria, Nestor, SB, Joel, David, Ivano. Yeah, I got your name right. Good, good. Naples fan and Marlo. Hello, everybody. Now on YouTube, we got a very quick list. Kevin, Richard, C. Fazio, Devin, Edward, Seth, Farhan, RP, and Genevieve. Good morning, everybody. And if I miss somebody, I apologize. Just want to be straight with you. So to start off with, let me just start off with the market. As I said this morning, we just don't have a lot of action. The internals went from being fairly bullish to being neutral now. They're not really bearish, but they're being neutral now. And now what we're watching for is whether we break this level, the SPY level, or whether we key off the 8-day EMA. I personally think we're going to key off the 8-day EMA, and this will create a rounder bottom as we continue going higher. Now, as far as day trades, we took one day trade today. I'm in charge of the fund ship since Matt is not here, just to give you a little review of what happened. And again, I'm going to use these pictures because it's just easier for me because I have you can't see it, but I have a laptop here with a couple of monitors, and that's where all this stuff is coming from. But it is what it is. So this is what the market looked like today, and this is what made us want to get into the trade, right? We were at the bottom of the channel. We were right here. Here, let me go a little. Yeah, right here. We went to the bottom of the MBD. And I preempted it here that we were going to get a signal. And we did. We got a signal like a few minutes later. We bottomed out right here. You could see we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom here. And also, there's a picture of Vold. I want to show you the Vold. At the time, hold on. Okay. So we started here. We started coming down. I was being patient. And I said, let's wait till we bottom out. And then I said, I want to see this. I want to see this, right?
Hmm.
I want to see this. Okay. So I gave the trade. Here's the trade. And we got in right here, right as I said, right at the bottom. And then the signal came like a minute later. You could see the cloud, the cloud right here.
Hmm.
But what happened right after the signal came is this. Here's what happened. The Vold started coming down right here. This is the Vold. And that made me very, very nervous because this is now it's becoming a trend. That's the open. So this right here, starting this bar is a new trend down because we have a new low here. And I said, let's just get out of the trade. And we're down about a point. It's we got in right here, right there, and we got out right there. And we missed this. This is why I wanted to get out because I did not want us to see this. And the Vold, this, as we all know, predicts very well where the market's going to go when it's trending.
Right.
And it started trending. See how it went down?
Hmm.
So just want to show you guys something interesting. This bar here, right here, came about 15 minutes before what you're seeing right now. Okay, I'm going to say this again for those that don't realize this, okay? I want you to see the timestamp here. See the market's coming down right here?
Yeah.
See how it's coming down? Okay, look at the timestamp here. I want to show you this. The timestamp here is 11:43. 11:43. I posted this for you guys at 11:43 right here. 11:43, okay? Let's see. 11:40. So it's right here. So this right here, hold on. Let me just highlight this for you. This price action here, right there, we saw it coming because we used this indicator. We saw it coming at 11:43. Now, did we make money on the trade? No, we did not. Did not disappoint. Made very good money. Good, Cyrus. Good. Before that happened and made some money. Good for you, Tammy. Good for you. But my point is, one of the power, it's one thing when I talk, but it's another thing when I talk and it actually happens. So I gave you the heads up at 11:43 and we got out of our trade. We were long. We got out of this trade because we saw this bar right here. The power of it is it was able to predict this move right here with 100% certainty. What time is it now? 15, 20 minutes ahead of time. That's pretty impressive, don't you think?
Hmm.
That's pretty impressive. And remember, the market's calm right now. It's very, very calm. If the market was loud, it would be something else. The other thing that made me exit, and I'm going to just take a screenshot of this, bear with me right now, 1 second, is this. This right here. Let me just send it to myself and I'll show it to you right now. Here we go. Okay. And this right here. Yeah, of course. I mean, losers don't bother me at all. Here, let me just show you this real quick. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's a picture. And I apologize, I have to do it this way, but I don't usually work from home. See this? This is the ADD, and look what started happening with the ADD. This is a pretty high ADD. That's a pretty random ADD. I mean, that's not very high, but it's high ADD is 1,500. This is 1,000, so it's relatively high. So that's a pretty bullish market. That's a lot of stocks trading above yesterday's close. And look where it just started going down. It just started, and it was over here when we got into the trade, and it just started going right here. So I said, you know what? The volt is deteriorating. The market breadth is deteriorating. I don't like this. And by the way, still, what is the market doing right now? And by the way, the volt is still. Here you can't see the volt, but let me show you T2104. Just coming down, coming down. That's sorry, wrong one. T2104. There we go. Just coming down. 1140 right here. Look, since that time, just coming straight down. But this was leading by about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. That's great, Wesley. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm sure Raleigh will grab that for later.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I just wanted to show you that the things we talk about are extremely extreme. We actually use this on day in and day out. And by the way, I was updating everybody in the Trading Zone Live minute by minute. Here's all the stuff right here, all the images, all the graphs. I'm even without Matt being here, I'm trying to give you all that stuff. Okay. All right. Sean, I don't even know what you're saying. Okay. Anyways, thank you, Harold. Thanks. I appreciate it. Okay. So I want to talk about, first of all, before I start talking and talking about the lesson, let me give you stocks. I always give you top stocks. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay. I'm going to start with the short list first. Okay. You need to focus only on this side of the fence right now. Okay. Only this side of the fence. CR, wrong stock. CRWV. This is the right stock. CRWV. Okay. And it's trading below the VWAP too, right here. That's a short opportunity right there. Good. Adam made a killing on RCL and SPY. Good. Yeah, we took a profit on RCL. I'll revisit that in a second. The next one is AR. That's a bearish stock. I told you about this yesterday. Remember, I told you I thought this was actually ready yesterday, and it didn't disappoint. Down 1% today. A lot of times, the same stocks come on my radar, and there's not a lot of stocks. I only have 3 stocks on my radar today to the short side. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Tammy. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. The only apology I have is I'm so sorry that Matt is not here to help me out today. It's the only thing. So anyway, you could see right here. You could see right here. Very nice setup. Very very nice setup. Both QFIN and this AR look really nice, by the way. And this stock still looks great. And again, I don't have the time today to go through the options, but for every one of the ones I'm showing today, because I want to give you a lesson, for every one we're showing today, you would be looking at about 3 to 4 weeks out, in this case, 31 days out, and you would be looking at a delta of 0.70. I don't even look at the strike price. I just look at times left, and here's my delta 70 right there. Yes, for swing trades. Yes, yes, yes. These are all swings. I don't think their stock has enough mojo really to day trade, Peter, to be honest with you. Um, Now so I like QFIN. I like this one a lot. And here you can go 31 days out. You can go 89 delta right here. You can also do a debit spread. There's no 0.70, so you just go 8.9. Don't go early. Don't go 5.4. Go 8.9. You can always go deeper. It's always 3 to 4 weeks, Jason. It's always 3 to 4 weeks, preferably 4 weeks with this non-action right now. The faster the market, the more tailwind you have, the less further out you have to go. So if we were in a trending market like this or like this, I wouldn't be talking 4 weeks. I'd probably be talking 3 weeks. Right now, it's a dead market. We're in August, but implied volatility is low. So you can go a little further and you can buy a little extra time with it. Okay. Again, all of these things we talk about, they all come in together. Okay. All right. So now let's look at my long stocks, at the long stocks. And I'll just switch this to the long side. Okay. Um, Let me see something here. This is not one of them. This is a potential straddle. A straddle is when you have not this one, VKTX, this one. This is a potential straddle. Whenever you have high ATR and you can get options for about preferably a third of this, it's a good, because if this moves, even half of the ATR, you would make money. So hypothetically speaking, I'm just looking at this right now as a straddle. Okay. I don't want to give you stocks, but I'm looking at this as a possible straddle because of the ATR. Okay, because of the ATR. But now, if I can get options, remember last time we did a straddle? Oh, we wanted to do a straddle. That's when I dropped the shizing word on Raleigh. The ATR was like $6. Remember Raleigh, and the
Yes,
option was like $1.25.
this
That's
is
that's golden. Here, it doesn't look that sexy yet. This looks like I want to see what it looks like in a couple of days. Okay, let's see, 24, 25. Yeah, this isn't ready yet. Implied volatility is still too high. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep it in our back pocket. So now let's go to our longs. And folks, I'm going a little faster than usual because I want to talk. I want to teach you some goodies today. There's a lesson for all of you. There's a lesson for all of you. Notice the SPY is still coming off, and the VOLD is just sitting at the lows right now. So I'm glad we got out of that trade. That was smart. We would have been just sitting, watching paint dry. Okay. I like Uber. I really like Uber. Oh, look at this. Hold on. It just dropped to the fifth to the I was about to say I have an alert on Uber if this drops below the 50. Let me see if I set it. I want to make sure I'm not crazy. I guess I don't. Okay, I'll be watching Uber. I'm really hot and heavy on this stock right now. I know Richard's trying to point me to it, and I'm glad he did. So I would go about 31 days out, and I would go to about point, and I would go right here. 68 is fine. Now, this is a pretty quick mover, so if you want to day trade or swing it for a few days, you can go 10 days out. You can't go 3, it's too little. You can go 10 days, and you can start right here at 96, at the closest one to 0.50. And then you can go right here, as long as you can do this for 50 cents, because your profit is $1. So you never want to spend more than half. And if you can't do this for 50 cents, then you try to go further. You go right here. Can you do this now now you have $2 to work with. Can you do this for less than a dollar? Yes, you can. You could do it for about 80. You could do this for about 85 cents. So if you can't, that's how you select these. Which ones give you the best ratio? The lowest price to the most profit. That's all you have to do here. You here, 96, 97. What's the profit potential? It's $1. 96, 98. What's the profit potential? $2. What am I paying? Where am I paying the most? Yeah, I'm just saying this is not a bad idea. I may give you this trade in the pit in the next hour or two. I'm I'm uh, I'm really liking this stock. I was going to set an alert at the VWAP, but I guess it's there right now. So I'm just going to watch it really carefully. And I'm just going to watch it really carefully and I'll circle it. Let's continue. I'm going to be a little quicker here. It depends, Naples fans. So here he's asking, do you stick with $1 or $2? It depends. So look, real example. We start off right here, 96. If I buy the 96 and sell the 97, okay? Let's just say I buy the 96 and sell the 97. Can I do this for less than 50 cents? Probably. I could probably do this for 31 cents. Well, that gives me like a 60 something percent profit. That's good. But if I couldn't, let's say the cost was 60% of the spread, then I would go from 96 to 98. I'm playing around with a different expiration date. I'm just trying to show you how the ratios work. Okay. We were talking about these right here. But again, right here, 0.48, 96, 97, 210, 165, assuming that these were the prices, you could do this for like, what is it, like 45 cents. So this is still good. If not, you go 96, 98. Your job is to find the spread that has the most profit for the least risk. So what is the ratio between what you're paying and what the spread is? It can't be more than 50%. And you try to go lower. So just ask yourself, is this a better ratio or is this a better ratio? That's all you're doing. That's all we're doing. Okay. Richard says currently, I should have listened to you, Richard. On the Uber already? Even with the VWAP pullback? Where'd you get into this thing? You must have gotten in. You must have told me about it like somewhere here, or maybe even early, maybe even over here. I don't remember. The day's been going by like this. But when I told you, yeah, I got you. I'm going to wait. I want it. I like it. I'm just not ready yet. Sorry, guys. We're having some trader conversations here. I hope you guys don't mind. Most people don't mind. Some number like say, okay, so let's continue. Richard, by the way, what did you do on Uber? Just tell us, did you do the spread or did you just buy the underlying for 4 days? Richard usually goes about 4 days out. 4 weeks out. And he goes to 0.70 delta. Straight call. Did you go to the September 19th or did you do September 12th? And did you do if I had to guess, he probably did September 19th. Did you do September 19th, Richard? He'll tell us. Let us know, just out of curiosity. But this is what I would do. I would do this one right here, 92.50. That's what I would do, the 92.50. I maybe even go to, maybe even 92s. Aha, there we go. Do I know my customer or what? Look what he just wrote. He did 90 once. He went even further in. Yeah, because the price was lower. Of course, it makes sense. The price was lower. He did exactly. Well, if you don't mind telling me, where was the delta when you got it? About 73? 72, 73. Talk about a guy that does exactly. See, I could tell you exactly 73. There we go. Folks, there's no miracles out there. That's a guy that's making 200,000 to 300,000 a month now. We're not talking different. We're not singing a different song. Everything I tell you, he just happens to do. And now he's giving me heads up when there's a good trade on Uber. Thank you, Richard. And I agree with you. It is a great trade. I'm just looking for the opportunity. I wanted to offset this first, which we did. We made money on this. I know that most of you made money on this trade. We offset it. Now I have a room for Uber. Uber and RCL are correlated. Okay. They're both discretionary stocks. I didn't want to have them both. So I wanted to liquidate RCL before initiating Uber. Do you see how we're talking, how we're thinking? We're saying We're in this. Richard and I are in the same zone. We're not very, very important. All right, let me continue. I like RCL. You could still add it to your list. Your profit. I'd be careful with the stock right now. I got rid of it. We made about, I don't know, about 15%. But you got a profit window of up to 342 on it. Okay. So I like that one. I like Ford. I like Ford. I like Toll Brothers. I like Johnson Johnson. I like Fast. I like Texas Instrument. Now, Texas Instrument's a tricky one. Folks, why would I not buy Texas Instrument right now? Can anybody tell me? And what about Texas Instrument that gets me so hot and bothered? It's true, Ken. Okay. And what happens when it gets right to the flag? Look to the left. What happens when we get what's the reward waiting for us when we get above the flag? The flag is the 50-day moving average. We're saying this, everybody who says below the 50-day is saying below the flag. There's a gap there. And where is our resistance level for that gap? It's right here. Looks like we're passing it, right? So we get to win double whammy. We get to be above the American flag, and we get to be far into this gap, and we have plenty of room, right? Why haven't I given it to you yet? Because we still haven't passed the American flag, even though we're in the gap. That's the only reason. Yes, it is a bit choppy. You're right, Jeanette, but it's got that juicy gap right here, and it's not that gap. It's not that choppy over here. Market's been choppy. It's not ready yet, but it's almost ready. Very good. Very good. I'm so happy. See, Raleigh, they're like
Pay
this.
attention. Yeah.
They're like, man, they're like this. Okay, so let me
Seriously locked
continue.
in. Yep.
Yeah. By the way, let's see what's going on with the SPY. I haven't been looking. Let's see. Is it still going down?
It's come back a little bit, but it's leveled.
It's not really doing much, is it?
No.
Yeah. But I got to say, I really like Uber a lot. Fast. I like Fast. I like it a lot. It's a fast moving stock. Ha 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 ha. But it is a fast moving stock. Um, no, Naples fan, not the 90-day moving average, 100-day, 50, 100, and 200. Simple moving averages. Yes. That's the American flag. I have it here because I have a black background here. I have it in red, white, and blue. You wouldn't be able to see it, obviously, in a white background, but I call this my American flag. And I've always used these colors because I want to be above the American flag when I buy, and I want to be below the American flag when I sell.
Mhm.
Okay. Real simple. By the way, Raleigh, this thing is made in Texas. This Waterloo.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. It has no sugar in it, no caffeine. It's just water with peach flavor.
Yeah.
I was looking.
Just
I
a
was
hint
like,
of peach. Yes. Yeah.
yeah. It's made in Texas. Good stuff from
Yeah.
Texas. Made in America.
HEB. Yep.
Verizon, choppy, but starting to look how it's above all of this crap here. And the next target is up here, so we got some room here. Although I'm not, this would probably be my last choice because of the choppiness. DKS is on my list, starting to pop again. Consumer discretionary. We got to be careful. We don't want to. We don't want to be red, white, and blue lead. Right here. See this? You'll notice all my longs are above the red, white, and blue, and all my shorts are below the red, white, and blue. It's just a really easy way to remember that you want to buy above the American flag. Basically, you want to buy stocks that are outperforming the American flag, and you want to sell stocks that are underperforming the American flag. W. Now, this is a very interesting stock, Raleigh, and I'll tell you why. This stock, now, so first of all, I don't know if I've ever told you the story or not, but when I moved to Florida, we had to do a lot of construction, and we bought the house months and months in advance. And before we moved here, and I bought a bunch of furniture sight unseen from Wayfair, from this company. They're
Yeah.
like the biggest furniture retailer in the country, from what I understand, like online. And I got. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, that's why you got the 91. Perfect. I'm gonna try to get in there as well. So we bought the furniture. The furniture arrived. It was in the box till we came here. By the time we came here, it was sitting in the box for a couple of months. When we inspected it, half of the furniture was messed up, and
Ooh.
they wouldn't give us a refund or an exchange because we didn't inspect it in time because, well, we weren't here to inspect it. There was nobody here. So I read online. So it left a really bad taste in my mouth because it wasn't just one piece. It was several pieces unrelated to each other. And then about a year later, I read an article online that this company has a practice of reselling furniture that people sent back because it's damaged. So I don't recommend them to anybody, but I don't care how my personal opinion about a company never gets in the way of making money. Tesla is a perfect example of that. So wanted to give you my personal story about this stock and tell you how bad it is, how the experience that I had. Jim, you're putting in the D. My name doesn't have G's in it. I don't have G in my name. You need to resend me an email to a proper email address. Roger without the G. I mean, without the D. Sorry. What am I doing? Without the D. There's no D in my name. It's just Roger. Yeah, just G, no D. Okay, Ollie? Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Raleigh. But look at the trend of this stock. So why am I getting hot and bothered about this stock? Because the stock is really, really related to interest rates going down. Because when interest rates go down, people buy stocks like Toll Brothers because that's home builders, and they buy stocks like W because people don't like to have houses without sofas and furniture. People like to have furniture in their house, and whatever they do a great job of how they market themselves. But I'm just telling you my personal experience and what I've read about this company. I'm never going to buy from them again. But if you've had a good experience, God bless. But this stock is very, very cyclical to interest rates. Very, very cyclical to interest rates. Okay, so we need to keep an eye on it. And Dix, another one that's very sensitive to interest rates. Consumers, they spend more money on credit cards. Yeah, and it's cheap stuff in that store. It's not an expensive store. That's probably why it does well. And I think I might have mentioned Tasco. This one right here. This is a specialty retailer. Uh, Very nice trend, and it's got a good move up to about 64. Okay, now I wanted to give you a lesson based on yesterday, and I think a lot of people don't understand this. Oh, and by the way, don't look now, but the SPY continues making lower lows,
Yep.
and
So
the
if you
vol.
were, if you were stubborn and didn't listen to Roger saying get out, and you're sitting there going like, ah, it's going to turn around. I don't want to take a loss, which all of us have done at some point in time, you're down significantly.
Yeah, and I got to show you this. I'm sorry, but I got to show you this. Well, I'm not sorry, but I got to show you this. And again, I apologize that I can't just flip a computer screen. But I realize sometimes it takes me longer to flip a computer screen than just to do this because I get all flustered with all of those different monitors that I have. So here, this is easy. I just want to show you this, how well this works. Okay, here we go. So here you could see it right here. Not here, right here. See that? Look at the volt. That's the volt right now.
Yep.
That's the volt right now. Just made a new low. When the volt does this, you don't want to go against it. You don't want to go. Now, there's no divergence between the SPY and the volt, which is fine, but you don't want to go against a volt that's breaking down like that. See, this was the low. This is where we got out right here. Right here. When I saw this, SPY didn't do it yet. We just took a point loss, but we would have taken a nice we would have been beaten up pretty good here. So anyways, just wanted to show you that. Trying to set up all the screens that Roger used. Come on, send me an email, roger@rogerscott.com. No D, just G. Okay, just G. Okay. So, and I still think we're going to bottom out around here and come up a little bit. I don't think there's not a lot of energy or momentum. And also, notice yesterday, look at the volume. Look at the volume. It's already what? It's already half the day is gone, more than half the day is gone. We're at 28 million shares. The average is 74. I mean, we're like a third way. And yesterday we were at 50 million. That's two-thirds of the average volume. Okay. So volume is low. This is not a time to get frisky. And it's a good time. Um, it's a good time to be very, very slow and not rush anything. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about, let me pull up my agenda. I had it right here. Talk about this with you guys. And I was going to have a pre-recorded class today, but I decided not to. I decided to have a live class because you guys are very important to me. And I want to give you 150%. I promise to give you 150%. Okay, so a lot of folks believe that they could trade stocks and indexes the same way. Okay. In other words, so let me give you an example of what I mean. I'm just going to take a little piece of a screenshot and cut it and use that. It worked so well for us yesterday, actually. So let's just see if I could cut this out here. Okay, I could probably just draw here. Yeah, I could draw here. Okay. So if you're trading indexes, okay, if you're trading indexes and you see this, you see this, you could trade highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows. When you're trading indexes, you could buy here and sell here and sell here. You could do that with indexes. If you're trading stock options, day trading, swing trading, you can't do this. You can't do this. This is a no-no. Okay? You can only do this, or you could do this. You can't do this. Hence, what is 75% Alpha Zone Pro? What does it do? 75%, right? Can't do that with stocks. Roger, why can't we do that with stocks? Why? What's wrong with stocks? I mean, don't stocks make up the darn index? Isn't that the same thing? Well, let me explain to you why. Because indexes hold 100 stocks or 500 stocks or 1,000 stocks. They have, and you might have heard somebody talk about this yesterday, they have good rhythm. They have good rotations. And they always have a lot of energy. Stocks don't have any of those three things. That's why we use the Pro Trader dashboard to trade and gauge stocks, and we use Alpha Zone Pro to gauge indexes. Alpha Zone Pro helps us calculate the rhythmic movement of the market and capitulate and capture that. It tries to find a good rhythm for us, a good areas for us, right? It rewards us when we have a good movement in the market, right? Stocks don't usually do that. Stocks don't have enough market cap unless they're on earnings watch to do that. The only time you're going to get that out of a stock is a reaction to earnings or right before earnings. Stocks don't trade that way. Stock trade like this. They don't have a lot of energy. They have randomness. Indexes don't have randomness. Do you see how if I started with this today, you would have no freaking idea what I'm talking about? But because we had a lesson on it yesterday, you could completely understand exactly what I'm saying. So In order to trade a stock, okay? And when I say stock, I'm talking about stock and stock options. I'm talking about everything, okay? I'm talking about the whole enchilada. Here, let me just delete this. Why is this thing so difficult? Anyway, we don't need to worry about that. So if you're trading stocks, you're comparing, you're comparing, comparing the stock versus index. Index. Stock versus index. Well, what works for that? The Pro Trader dashboard. When you're trading indexes, you're not comparing, you're measuring. Measuring. Okay? Nothing to compare. Measuring. You're measuring. What are you measuring? The energy, the rotation, and the rhythm of the market. Whether you're moving up or you're moving sideways. Rhythm, energy, and all the and rotation don't apply to day trading stocks. A stock is like a tank. It just does boom, 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 boom. For example, let me give you a good example of it. The last few days have not been a great example, but even right here, you could see this. You see, look at these rotations we're having. Look at these rotations we're having. You can profit off these rotations. Okay. These are rotations. They're not great rotations, but they're rotations. But stocks usually don't have those rotations. These are not, you can't make money. There's not enough money here. This is 150. It's not enough money on these rotations. Like, look at Ford. How are you going to make money on this? See, randomness. From here to here is 11 cents. They have randomness. Okay, randomness. I want you guys to understand the difference. So a lot of times people will ask me, Roger, why can't I just day trade? Why can't I just day trade use one tool for both? Well, if you're trading the index, you're measuring. Pro Trader dashboard doesn't measure anything. It compares 500 stocks against each other, and then it compares the best one with the index to see which one is. It's comparing two things. Think about this. What does the Pro Trader dashboard do? It compares 700 stocks, whatever stocks I have on the dashboard, with each other to see what the strongest or the weakest is. Then, once you have that, you're comparing the stock again to see how it's doing in the short term with the SPY on a movement. In other words, if it's overdone or not. So you're always comparing. You're always comparing. It's like a mirror. You got to have a mirror. You got to compare. But with the Alpha Zone Pro and what we do on the SPY itself, we measure. We measure. Do you guys understand? Does this give you a better idea of the difference between what we do? Cyrus understands it. I just want to make sure you guys understand it because a lot of folks don't understand it. Ken says that's brilliant. You guys understand. SB says still processing. In order to find how good or bad a stock is, we can't measure it because there's nothing to measure it to. You see, eye-opening, good. What am I going to measure it to? Like, what am I going to measure Ford to? Another stock that's related? No, I got to measure it to the index, right? But how can I compare the index? What am I going to compare the index to itself? So in one, we're comparing. In the other one, we're measuring. We're taking measurements. Okay? That's the reason why you get this. That's the reason why. Hold on, bear with me. That's the reason why. And I know we're going a little deeper than a lot of you like. But let me show you something. Why do you think here? Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait to get back to work. That's why instead of using the Pro Trader dashboard, what we do is here. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay. That's why when we use the Alpha Zone Pro, we use these six things to help us measure what the market is doing. We don't need this when we're using the Pro Trader dashboard, but we need it when we're trying to trade the market. So, in a nutshell, to make it really easy for you guys to understand, I'm measuring what the SPY is doing by looking at the ADD. Okay, is the ADD increasing? Oh, it looks like it's bottoming out here. That means the SPY may be bottoming out. Oh, look at Volt. Volt looks like it's starting to churn. Doesn't have a lot of firepower. Tick is kind of flat. I'm measuring. I'm using this tool to measure. Naples fan is asking a great question. Is an ETF an index or a stock? An ETF is always an index, but we're talking about the SPY. We're talking about S&P 500, SPX, SPY, E-mini futures. That's what we're talking about. The big daddy, QQQ, the SPY, Russell 2000. Okay. So instead of comparing the stock that we like with 500 other stocks to see which one wins, we simply use these tools, these six components, which make up the addition to the Alpha Zone Pro and Trading Zone Live, which we'll talk about in a minute. And this right here helps us measure what the SPY will do next. So it's not because I've got not actually I've never even gotten an email. I've gotten like a question or like a comment like, why did you make something else? Why can't we just use the same thing? You can't use the same thing because if you put in the Pro Trader dashboard SPY or the QQQ, it's not going to give you a reading because it doesn't have anything to compare it to. You see what I'm saying? So and again, the reason for that is not because I wanted to sell you two separate. Let me tell you something. I would personally love nothing more than by having one platform that has all of it. That way, I wouldn't need as many monitors. Can't do it. It's apples and oranges. So to put it all together for you and tie it up, I think we're bottoming out here in the short term, but we're not diverging, so I'm not going to do anything. But I think we're bottoming out. I may want to take Uber here. Let's see one second. I'm going to hold off for now. But my point in explaining all this to you is to get you to understand that we're using exactly. We would be in one, we would have nothing to compare it to, and in the other one, we would have nothing to measure. So it would make our life extremely difficult. All right. So Jim now understands it. So how do we? So now let's go back to where we started. So how do we use? Where's my piece of paper here? So what are the best type of setups? What are the best and my favorite type of setups for? And today I'll just talk about the day trading, okay? So now you understand that so I'll just kind of put it all together for you, okay? Pro Trader Dashboard is a tool we use to measure stocks and stock options. We do that by comparing 500 or 750 stocks usually with other related stocks to see which one rises to the top. It's a comparison method. There's no measurement. We can't look at rotation. We can't really look at market internals because you can have the SPY move 500 points and the stock will move 10 cents. So it doesn't really help us. You understand? We can't day trade the stocks based on what the SPY is doing. It wouldn't work minute to minute. You can't day trade a Ford based on what the SPY is doing. It doesn't make sense. But you can trade it comparing it to other stocks. That's the key. But now when we want to trade the SPY, well, we've got this to help us. And again, when you watch the class I presented for you, it'll make more sense. It'll come together. But when you take this right here, the VOLD, the volume coming in and out of the S&P 500, the number of stocks increasing versus decreasing below yesterday's close, the key levels, the fact that we're trading underneath the last 5 days rotation level, that we're seeing a move, a momentum move without a lot of volume backing it up right here. You could see it right here. This is the volume. All the volume is right here. The volume is here. There's hardly any volume here. And you could see that by looking at the tick, by looking at the VIX, by looking at TLT, and then by looking at the Alpha Zone Pro and measuring, hey, are we how big are the rotations today? How much energy do we have in the market? So, what I'd like to see is, I'm going to explain it to you right real quick. If I see 1500 positive or negative on the VOLD, and 750 positive or negative, 750 on the tick, okay? I'm going to start looking for this pattern in the SPY. And I'm going to try to find bottoms right here. That's what I'm going to be using in the SPY. If these are, so now let's say that the tick, well, let's say the levels are not 1500, they're below 1500, then I'm
Hey,
not going to be
Roger,
looking. Yes,
hey,
yes.
real quickly, some people are wondering, do you mean the ad or the Volt here, 1500?
This is on the Vold. This is
Okay.
on the Vold.
Yep, on the Volt, folks.
And the other one is on the tick. Tick.
Perfect. Okay.
Tick. Plus 750 minus 750. Okay? If I see, not VIX, tick, tick, tick. That's this right here. See how in the morning it went 795 and then it stopped really doing anything?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of up 500, and here it's coming up. There's nobody pressing on the gas pedal. There's very little pressing on the gas pedal. I want to see this right here. I want to see ADD. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm totally. It's been a long day. I am so sorry, guys. I'm so
I
sorry.
think people were
It's been,
picking up when you were
yeah, they're
talking
picking
about
up ADD,
1500 is on the
ADD,
ADD, not the Volt. Right.
ADD. I have ADD right now. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff going on right now. ADD. This is ADD and this is tick. Tick and ADD. I apologize. So if this is 1500, okay, 1500, this is 750, okay, I'm going to be trading I'm going to be trading this type of patterns, okay? If these are not 1500 and these are not 750, then I'm going to be looking at the Vold, and I'm going to be looking for the divergence between the SPY. This is the SPY and the Vold. I want to see divergence. I want to see one going up and the other one going away from it. And I want to make sure that the Vold is trending. If the Vold is not trending, in other words, if it's doing this, no, I want to see it do. Now, it could be doing this and then it could start trending. Today, it was doing this. It was doing this. That's chop. But as soon as it goes below this level, it started trending. Okay? As long as this is trending, if just like a stock, if it's breaking the low, it's now trending. It's not inside the high or the low range. It's trending. If I see the Volt trending, I'm going to be taking trades opposite of the SPY in the direction of the Volt. And hopefully they will be respecting the left side of AZP my levels right here. That's what I would be doing. So let me put all this together for you one more time because this is a lot of information, okay? I'm not looking at the Vold levels. I never looked at the Vold levels. Sorry, I got confused. So let me start it all over. If I see the ADD at 1500 positive or 1500 negative and tick at 750 positive or 750 negative, I'm going to be looking for trends. I'm going to be looking for pullbacks, shallow pullbacks in a trend. And the market is going to be very forgiving because this tells you the market has huge amount of energy. This means the market has a lot of energy and a lot of energy and a lot of rhythm and a lot of movement. This is alive. This is a market that's alive. If the numbers are below that, I'm not going to be looking for trends. Okay. There's not that much energy, but I still want to see if there's good rotations. So the Vold will tell me based on the size of the moves. I'm not going to be looking at energy, but I'm going to be looking at rotations, the size of the rotations. And ideally, here's what I want to see. Now, here's what you guys may want to write down. And again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to confuse anybody, but again, it's not easy doing all this without Matt being here. So, and then Raleigh can ask me questions before we move on after this.
Yep.
So we know what happens if we're at 1500 ADD and 750 on tick, but let's say we're below that, we're trading choppy. So here is the upside on Pro Trader dashboard, Alpha Zone Pro right here, and here's the downside. Okay, so Vold is going up. Okay, SPY starts going up and then it starts coming down. Okay, oops, coming. I don't know why that turned into an arrow. I didn't do it on purpose. Starts going up and then starts coming down like this. Okay. I'm going to be looking for price action to start doing this because I want to go in the direction of the Vold because I believe that the SPY is going to come back up in the direction of the Vold. So let's say the Vold is going down like this and the SPY goes down and then starts going away from here. I'm going to wait for the Alpha Zone Pro to give me a signal here because I believe that the SPY will eventually come down. So I'm using the levels that are given with you with Alpha Zone Pro to gauge the variance or the diversion between the SPY and the Vold. Okay? All right. Do we have, and folks, my suggestion is to rewatch this class, but I think I gave you a really, this is pure gold, Jason says. Oh, this is very nice. Here's the recording, Jason.
Yeah, I've gone ahead and shared that with everybody there.
Yeah. There you go.
YouTube, it's
Yeah, there you
always,
go.
yeah, it's always in Roger's YouTube channel, and that's the morning session and the VIP.
Aren't you guys great? Happy that you made it to this session. Oh, and by the way, what's the SPY doing? It's still going down.
It's still going down.
Still
Yeah.
going down. And you know what the Volt is doing right now? Can you guess, Raleigh?
I was going to say it's probably, if there's any divergence, it's moving sideways.
It's at the low of the day right now.
It's at the low.
It's
Okay.
like it looks exactly like this. I mean, it just looks just like
So
this.
they're in lockstep.
Oh,
Okay.
they're completely in. But the point is, in other words, I wouldn't take a trade, but I wouldn't be going long right now with
No.
the Volt. That's all I'm trying to say.
And that's the interesting part of what we're going to be talking about a little bit later is that when you're looking at day trading the SPY, we may have some opportunity this afternoon, but not now.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very much so. If I still have some breath in me, absolutely, absolutely. I'm
So there
trying
were
to
So, Roger, there
to
were a couple of questions that
yes,
came up
yes.
quickly. One thing was this. Once again, I know people are writing furiously as you were talking, and they were saying, like on the tick, the way the tick charts are currently set up, it's plus or minus 900. Should that be modified to 750, Roger? Or do you keep the 900 there and just use 950 as an internal rail, inside rail?
You're talking about on the tick? Really?
Yeah,
I have it at
uh-huh.
seven. It shouldn't be at 900. It should be at 750. Tick should be seven. Those levels should be at 750. I don't know why they're at 900.
Okay.
I'll
So
have somebody take a look at them. They should be at 750.
okay, just
Yeah.
that was just a clarification that people were looking for.
Yeah.
And then Bill asked the question. He said, okay, so which of the programs are you using? Where do you use fractals? And my answer to him was the ProTrader dashboard uses fractals to help in deciding about stock entries. Would you agree with that, Roger? I mean,
Yes.
fractals are built into it. It's a core of the
Oh,
program.
absolutely. Yeah. What I
Yes.
was trying to explain with fractals, what I was trying to, what I've been trying, what I'm trying to say with fractals is this. And this is, we have a lot of miscommunication when it comes to fractals. For example, I'll get an email that says, Roger, how dare you trade against the trend? I've been told I've been told never ever to trade against the trend. And I asked that person, what time frame are you talking about? And literally the market's doing this, and they're talking about me trading in there is no trend. So if I are you looking at the daily chart? Are you looking
Yeah,
at the 5 minute chart? Are you looking at the 15-minute chart?
makes a
See,
difference.
they all can move in different directions. So what I was saying is make sure when I'm talking about directions, you know what time frame I'm talking about. Am I talking about the 5 minute chart or am I talking about the daily chart? So that's what I'm saying. Let me explain to you, Tick, for those that don't understand. It's 750. Okay, so I'll explain. The 900 is the top, is the upper range, but I start looking at it when it gets to 750. So 900 is like it's, but I
Yeah,
start looking at it at 750. I'm just giving you a heads up. Yeah, it is 900. 900 is like 1500 on the Vold, but I'm talking about when it on the ADD. But when it starts getting starting to get there, you want it alert. You want it to give you a heads up at 750, and it goes up to about 900. I don't need it to go above 900. When it's at 900, I know they're pressing the gas to the max. So
perfect.
that's the window. That's the window. The 900 is where I want it to end up, but we start looking at it at 750. That's all. There's no right or wrong here. That just means momentum is really that someone is really pressing that gas pedal.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
So
it's, and a lot of people have
yeah,
inner
yeah,
guide rails for that very reason. You're approaching an area and you
yeah.
can plot those for yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. Any other questions before we move on?
Yeah, there was one other question that Rob brought up early on, and I think he's been patiently waiting for a response. And he's going like, "Hey, if I'm trying to learn your approach, when you list the longs or shorts in the morning, so Roger, this is pre-market. If a person decides to take a trade, do you buy a put or a call? Are you spread trading these? Are you in the money, out of the money? I think I know the answer to that, but generally speaking, somebody that's new, that's just coming in, they see your list of longs and list of shorts. If they were to act on that, essentially, how would they be acting on those?
They would need that's just a watch list. The stocks have to, and I've shown you guys 2 weeks. I think the
Yep,
last couple of
yep,
weeks we had a session where we started at my watch list. Remember, I have videos. So to answer your question, I have 3 to 4 hours worth of videos to show you how to deal with the stocks that after my watch list,
yep.
and they're all happen to be in the VIP room. I mean, in the stream in the live stream where all of these videos. You guys should know that every one of these videos is in the Roger Scott YouTube channel under the live tab,
Yes.
and they're all organized by date: morning show, afternoon show, morning show, afternoon show, morning show, afternoon show. Okay, just FYI. And yeah, the 900 is the level you want, but just heads up. Hey, you want to start. It's like on the VIX, you want to start looking at it at 18, but the happens at 20. Okay, but you start the heads up happens at 18. That's all. Okay.
All right, that's great. So, Rob, once again, the best thing that you could do is look at some of these things. But as Roger says, in the morning, he has a watch list. And for example, today, what Roger said, okay, guys, be careful. In the market conditions we're in right now, don't jump on these right away, because you're looking for a breakout or a breakdown on these. And then you can consider taking action. And there's a series of steps that you walk through for
There's like
that.
20
So,
steps. There's like
yep,
20 steps. Yeah.
yep.
Is it trending? Is the market trending? How do we compare? I mean, there's like I think we spend like 3 to 4 days
It
on it,
was
Raleigh.
Roger. It was about 2 weeks ago, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you basically said, "Hey, this week I'm going to walk you through everything I do every morning, from how I identify
Yeah.
stocks, they come on my watch list, how I distill that down, and it's worth its weight in gold.
I literally said, okay, imagine what do you do once you have this list? What do you do with it? And we did that for like 3 days. So I mean, I just don't have the time to go over here, and I have a class. I'm actually late to do this class. But let's. I spent a lot of time here with you guys. All right, so let me go ahead and do this class right now. Everybody who's in the YouTube channel, everybody who's in the YouTube channel, please move into please move into the Zoom room,
The
okay?
Zoom room,
The
right?
Zoom room. Raleigh is going to turn off. He's literally going to turn off the uh,
The YouTube feed.
yeah,
Yep.
the YouTube feed in just a few minutes, and I'm going to reset. I'm going to stop my share and reshare. Just give me a second. And folks, a lot of what we discussed right now is going to be in a class that I'm going to do for you. Now, I was asked to do this class in a pre-recorded mode. In other words, Raleigh was just going to roll the tape and I was going to go and find trades. But instead I said, you know what? My members are very important to me, and I don't want to give them some kind of a cockamamie recording. I want to talk live to them. Because if they have a question, I want to be able to answer it because Raleigh's going to ask questions. So I was planning on doing this pre-recorded, but I'm going to be live. I'm here live. It's 105, 819. Uh, so I'm here. Please use this opportunity to because this is going to talk about a lot of these day trades and how we pick these day trades and the market internals and all that other stuff. Please pay attention to this because this is going to be very, very important. Don't leave. Pay attention to this, okay? And after we're done, I'll finish answering your questions um, after I take a 5 minute break. But
Yeah.
all right, everything we're going to show you profits. This is all real. All of this happened. I'm not big on the hypothetical stuff. Basically, if there's something hypothetical, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll sprinkle them in and make them bonus trades, calculate them, and then I'll give them to you as real. But I don't like to do hypotheticals. So the dates, the trades, the numbers, all this is real. Okay. All this is real. Okay. There will be losers. Our win rate is 70%. It's not 100%. And you know that Murphy's Law never fails when it comes to your money, right? It never fails when it comes to your money. You're not going to get those losers when it's convenient for you. You're not going to get those losers after you made your first $1 million. I'm just playing around. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. They come when they come. You get what you get, and you don't complain. Okay, that's how it works. You let the laws of statistics of math work for you. You don't let trades bother you. Okay. My name is Roger Scott. While most traders are glued to the tariff headlines, inflation data, I was last night to what was going on with Trump and Putin. Actually, I was totally focused on that, or the Fed's next move. But I've been quietly polishing up a strategy that helps us know every dollar going in and out of the market. And I'm talking about market internals. Remember what I said: when you're trading SPY, you're going to be not comparing. You're going to be measuring. Think measuring, okay? With zero delay. And by tracking every last penny, we've been able to front run some of the biggest market moves in a matter of minutes. And I really mean that. For example, let me turn my fan on 1 second here. All right. For example, take a look at Tuesday, April 29th, okay? The SPY started off selling off fast around 12:40 in the afternoon. And at around 105, I picked up that a lot of buyers were coming into the market. I send out an alert to my members, and as expected, the SPY surged higher. Look at our entry. Looks like right at a turning point right there. 76% gain in 33 minutes. And again, the very next day, the SPY dropped hard at 1 p.m. At 117, we had 12.7 million bullish transactions flooding the market. I send out an alert at 1:17 p.m. And sure enough, over the next 18 minutes, the SPY shot up like a rocket ship. Okay. Like a rocket ship, I tell you. 58% in 18 minutes. And again, later that afternoon, the SPY was trading water heading into the close at 248. Over 9 million bullish transactions hit the tape. Okay. Send out an alert at 2:48 in the afternoon. Very clear. Told you guys to go long. You would have heard a bzz, 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 bzz buzzer. And Raleigh, would you mind in about 5 to 10 minutes turning off
I'll be,
YouTube?
yeah, I'll be glad to do that.
Okay, okay, thanks so much. And we made out like bandits on that one too. Notice we're picking slightly higher double tops here. It's a good time to trade. 74% gain in 59 minutes. Very, 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 very nice. And folks made out like bandits. They made out like bandits. Okay. And we did it again on Friday, knocking out, this is last week, 3 more winners in a row. 13% gain in 5 minutes, 27% gain in 18 minutes, 43% gain in 36 minutes. All right. And you guys had a chance to make out like bandits. All right. What is it? Adam says lawsuit just got the go ahead for sell. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, Tesla. Yep.
Oh, don't even get me started there. This isn't just some theoretical back test. We've been giving this to over 900, well, over 970 members now. I think we even have more than that over the last few months in a program called Trading Zone Live. So if you guys don't want to measure, if you guys don't want to deal with rotations, the energies and all that, we could do this for you. When I say we've been on fire, we really have been on fire. Now, what do folks have to say for themselves? Carlos, 10,000 month to date. Don, 1,500 per day, 2,500 per week. Jason, Harold, doubled my account in 3 months. Tony, $200 to $800. Very, very nice. Wanted to share the results of my options trading. You've played a significant role in helping me double the account. Tony, very nice. This morning, I got an email from Bugs, 120 something thousand. From April 16th to May 16th, my account went from $250 to $1,430. That's 427% return. I've never had an account perform so well or a win rate that high before. Thank you, Dana. Over $10,000, Don. Over $8,000, Dave. HG, 90% win rate. 93%. Joanne, $48,000 just recently. These are real people. These are real folks just like you. Okay. Thanks for that, Eagle Beagle. I appreciate it. Esther made $78,000. Richard started off with 104. He ended the month a lot better than this. I'll tell you that. He bought a car for his daughter. We had other people buy cars for their kids too. So it's not like a once in a lifetime occurrence. It's happening all the time. Now, I got to say, those are some pretty fantastic results, really good results. But unlike most trading rooms that pump and dump penny stocks or chase news headlines, we're not trading thousands of tickers out there. We're not constantly refreshing scanners on this program. We're doing this in our stock program when we're comparing stocks to the SPY. You see the difference? I wanted you guys to understand the difference. Now, I love doing it. I just don't do it in this program because there's nothing to compare. I can't compare the SPY to anything. I can only measure the SPY. You understand? So we're simply tracking every dollar going in and out of the most important ticker in the market. I think it's important for people to understand that because a lot of folks are still kind of, why is he doing that here? And why is he doing that here? Isn't all trading the same? No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's like music, jazz and rock and roll are very different. The S&P 500 is our vehicle here, okay? It's very, very, it's got a lot of energy. There's a lot of people trading it, let's put it that way. And the biggest reason is, and this is really cool, is these short-term options that just came out a little while back. They're really important because, A, you could make a lot of money. There's a lot of leverage there. But most importantly, and the biggest factor that I really, really like here is that they're very, very liquid. But the most important, they give us levels. They give us those levels. Remember, I said if the Alpha Zone Pro is at a level, this is where we get our levels from. The implied volatility. Look at that: 31% in 16 minutes, 52% in 23 minutes, 121% in 32 minutes. Now, if you ever told me that I had a way to track every dollar going in and out of the SPY in real time and use that intel to make money, I'd say you're pretty good at what you're doing. But here's the thing. We don't just get one of these opportunities per day. I mean, sometimes we do. If it's middle of August and the market's just doing this, just depends on what's going on with the market. But we're looking at 3 to 5 double and triple digit opportunities each and every single day. That means, why would you want to trade the XPX, Caroline? There's no benefit in trading XPX. It's got It's got like 1/10 of the liquidity compared to the SPY. I mean, the SPY is, there's a reason why the SPY is the most liquid asset in the world. And you could trade it. There's tax on it. It's just 60/40 versus 100. You got tax on it. There's always bound to be ample opportunities at your fingertips. For example, look at what would have happened. You're wrong about that, Caroline. You got to pay tax. Monday, June 23rd at 10:23 in the morning, you would have been enjoying a walk with the dog in the morning and felt a little bzz, 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 bzz in your pocket, pushed a few buttons on the phone to set a trade. And by the way, I could show you how you could do this with the most liquid asset in the world and without any day trading limitations. And I will if you let me finish. Okay. Yeah, I don't trade that nonsense. Okay. Pushed a few buttons on the phone to set a trade, and just 5 minutes later, 28% gain in 5 minutes. Then again, while grabbing lunch with a friend, bzz, 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 on your phone, 23% gain in 21 minutes. Look at these two. Markets are open. It's 2:32 in the afternoon, but these two lovebirds are at the gym. How come I go to the gym after 4 o'clock today and they're at the gym already? 84% in 29 minutes. And again, 348 a few minutes later, 116% gain in 10 minutes. Let's say someone put $2,000 into each of those trades. That would have been over $5,000. That would have been over $5,000 in profit. And that's just after 1 day of trading. Look at this. Guy looks very happy. Now, in a moment, I'll give you a chance to join us on the very next trade. That could have fire off within the next hour. Plus, I'll share with you a very simple money flow indicator that helps us forecast, yes, forecast, um, that helps us forecast the price movement of the SPY before it happens. An indicator that's already hiding within your trading platform. And I'll teach you how to use it today at no charge. So if a free bootcamp trading session sounds good to you, and you're ready to see how hundreds of traders have changed their financial future thanks to Trading Zone Live, go ahead and give me a yes in the chat. Let's do this, all right? Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Roger Scott. I've been doing this for 31 years. My hedge fund partners included, but we're not limited to, the senior financial economist to President Trump's administration, Kevin Hassett. He's in line to take over Powell's job. I honestly hope he does not, but the odds are about 50%. I've worked with Charles Calamirez, who is the Ivy League professor of Columbia University of Finance. He's been doing it for about 35 to 40 years. Both of these gentlemen are actively advising the president on how to solve the Ukraine war. Little things in life, nothing very important. How to solve wars, when to attack other countries, fiscal deficits, when to increase interest rates. Little things like that. Nothing really all that important. And I've also worked with Curtis Faith, the youngest turtle trader, and I've also worked here at the pub with Tony Saliba, who's actually a legitimate market wizard, and who's featured with Stanley Druckenmiller and with Paul Tudor Jones in the Market Wizards book. For the past 5 years, my focus has shifted. I've been teaching other gurus. Here's Gramster's mom, Celeste. Here's Matt. Here's Kathy. Here's Kane. Here's what's his name? I'm having dinner with him tonight, Murray. There's Ken right there. And here's our staff. That's Dave. He's a copywriter. He's teaching people here at the pub. Now, Alpha Zone Pro or the Pro Trader Dashboard. Remember, this one compares stocks, and this one, what does it do? It measures. Compares, measures. Compares, measures. You can't have them both, okay? Doesn't work that way. Two very, very successful trading signals that have a very high accuracy. Now, as great as those incredible achievements are, they don't hold a water or a candle to what I'm going to talk about today. And I think this is really, really important. It's a new way to target triple-digit, even bigger gains, 3 to 5 times per day when markets are active. Why am I not taking more trades today? Simple, because the ADD is at positive 273. I'm not going to go short on that. And we're not really diverging on the VOLD, and volume is low, and we're in a slight rotation. The market doesn't have enough energy to break down. It would be a false breakdown, okay? For that person who asked me why I'm not going short. So what's the secret? A specialized money flow indicator that only exists to day trade the SPY. You won't hear about it on Fox Business or CNBC. And it doesn't work on traditional stocks like Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, or Amazon because we don't have to measure anything. We compare. We compare, not measure. Okay. Unlike most indicators out there to give you guys buy and sell signals based on price. All right. Money flow indicator is completely different. It shows us when capital is flowing into or out of all the S&P 500 stocks in the S&P in real time. And that's important because it means we could use it to help predict where the SPY is heading next before the price moves even more. Like it did today. Remember what I was telling you? We're moving down. We're making a new low. We're making a new low. And what has the market been doing ever since 12 o'clock since we've been here? Does anybody want to guess? What has the market been doing ever since here? We got here in 2 hours ago. It's been going straight down. Okay. What you see here is a 1 minute chart of the SPY. As you could see, it opened higher in the morning and began to sell off quickly. Most traders probably expected more downside continuation from the move, but I knew that the bottom was in and the SPY would likely be forced to go back up. And that's because the money flow indicator flipped bullish at 10:15 in the morning. I immediately sent out an alert to all the members. As expected, over the next 32 minutes, the SPY took off like a rocket ship. And some of you guys made out like bandits, okay? But folks, it gets even better because it wouldn't be the only opportunity that would have paid out big on June 24th. There was another entry alert that happened 2 hours later. Again, it was the same setup. The SPY was drifting lower that day, but exactly at 125, the bullish flow money indicator flipped on us. And anyone who would have placed a quick trade as soon as I send out the alert could have made out like a bandit, okay? 76% gain in 39 minutes. Now, in a moment, I'll reveal everything behind the money flow indicator, including how to trade it. But first, let me just say this. If you've ever struggled in the market, feeling like you're constantly taking one step forward and then 2 steps back, it's not your fault. You're not listening and you're over trading and you're not paying attention and you're taking trades that are too big and then you're second guessing all the trades. You're trading each individual trade and trade instead of trading the methodology. That's the biggest problem I see with people. They trade the individual trades. They look like this instead of focusing on the next 100 trades. All right. The only thing we do is we look at price action. We completely ignore the driving force. That's what most people do. And